What's good, family? Welcome back to the channel. So Blac Chyna here has been sharing her transformational journey that she's been going through on the internet and showing us how she's been removing a lot of cosmetic surgery that she got in her boobs, her butt, also like fillers in her jaw, her cheeks, her eyes. And it's actually all due to God, and she's actually saying this to the world, which is a W. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have many influencers out here that have like 16.7 million followers posting about God. And now recently in her last post that she just made 12 hours ago, about 13 hours ago, she's showing us that she got baptized. Alright, and now with the caption actually saying this: I got baptized on 5/11/22. I was watching the video again and wanted to show you this because if you look closely at my mouth, you can hear the spirits leaving my body. God is good. Now when you do get baptized by the Holy Spirit, you are cleansed. You are cleansed. You are made new. And in this instance, she's making this caption. So let's give this video a look.
And in the name of the Holy Ghost. Son, and in the name of the Holy Ghost.
Wow, what do you guys think? Because in the same instance, it could be known as just like the people around her that could have been making noise. But I feel like the most credible source in this situation would literally be Blac Chyna, because she's the one that went through the situation. She's the one who was baptized. She knows what she felt when she came back up out of the water and what she felt like leaving her body. She probably really felt cleansed of some demonic spirits. And that could have been the transformational point for this entire transformational journey, because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You're in the industry for a long time. You have a lot of people watching you. And to actually reverse a lot of the decisions you made, especially on your body, and to come out in faith like this, it's not an easy thing for a lot of people to do, especially when you have 16.7 million followers. So this right here could have also been a catalyst to where she's at today. Reversing her body, going natural. This is just a complete W, y'all. like this is a complete W for culture right here. Seriously speaking. Because it's showing people that God does good and that we are beautiful naturally. We don't really need to do too much. We're made in the perfect image of God. So I wanted to actually know more about her transformational journey and her relationship with God and just how things have been working with her. Not only on the external world, which we see, but on the internal world, what's going on within her mind. So we're about to watch this Forbes interview right here. It says, Meet Angela White. Blac Chyna reveals her new chapter. Let's get straight into this.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosemary Miller, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Blac Chyna today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So before we really jump in, what do you want to be referenced as? Blac Chyna, or are you Angela White?
Angela White.
You are Angela White.
Yes, ma'am.
So why are you choosing that name?
Well, it was given to me by birth. But mostly just for me, it's like getting back to myself. Because, being in the entertainment field, everybody always calls me like, hey, Blac Chyna, Chyna. Nobody never really calls me Angela. So sometimes I would kind of forget who I am, because it's always about the brand, but not about the person.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, you've gone through some major life changes in recent weeks.
Yes.
You've been very public about your breast reduction, your backside reduced, and getting your fillers dissolved.
Yes.
Why did you choose to do it so publicly?
It just came to me. It came from God. Honestly, when I posted, I didn't even think that it was going to be as big as it was. And then by me seeing that, it made me feel wow, really comfortable to even go back on the internet, because I kind of stopped posting as much as I used to. But now everybody has been supporting it. So I'm okay, this gives me the courage to keep going and see how far I can go. So it makes me feel really good. I'm glad I did do it.
Yeah,
You
that's
are receiving
amazing.
overwhelming support.
Yeah, I
The
didn't
public
even.
is-
Yeah, it just came to me. I didn't even think it was going to be as big as it was, or is.
Yeah, everyone's really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, you said it came from God. Tell me about that. I want to know about the work we're not seeing because I know you had to do a lot of internal work as well.
Yes, and continuing to also. So on my birthday, I got baptized on my birthday. So I was reborn on my birthday, and that was May 11th of 2022. So from there, I was like, just start taking the steps that I knew, which was more of the truth. Like what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So that's
Facts.
kind of like how I've been stepping, going to church. Hi, Bishop James.
Yo, it's so true because a lot of us do know a good amount of what's right from wrong. So she just actually decided to just start walking in what she knew was right.
Mama Minutes. Going to church and just having my church family and the other people that like pray for me and pray with me because you can't do it by yourself. You can, but it's better when you have like your church family, your prayer warriors. Because there's some days where you might feel like, okay, this is like too much for me. We need to call back. I gotta call back up. Like I need the extra prayers today. So
And what do you mean this is too much for me?
just like life in general. Sometimes it can become like overwhelming, especially like when you're in the spotlight and they just keep me grounded. God keeps me grounded and they keep me grounded too, as far as like human wise. You have like your spiritual, but then you have human form too. So both of those combined is helping me get through the things that I need to get through and get back to myself.
Right. When the world is chaotic, my faith is steady.
Yes.
I understand. So I want to switch gears a bit.
Okay.
You also deactivated your OnlyFans account. And I hear that was the source of a lot of your money. And I want to just clear this up right now because there is a $239 million discrepancy right now going on.
I see that.
You have. So, April 2022, you said you made $1 million from it in 2021. But now I'm seeing reports that are saying 240 million. What's the actual number?
The actual number, it was close to 2 million within a 2 year span.
2 million.
So I opened it in 2020. So right when the pandemic had hit, I had opened it because I was like, oh my gosh, like what's about to happen? And I had just recently did a TV show called Only Cams where I produced it and filmed on it just a little bit. So it kind of like gave me the leeway to kind of doing it because it was something that I didn't want to do at first. But at the time I had so many lawsuits and so many things that I was dealing with. Aside from that, I'm like, I got to figure out how can I like continue to have like my house, take care of my kids, do everything I need to do. So that's why I started the OnlyFans. But let's clear this up. I definitely did not make 240 million.
Because that's OD.
I definitely did it.
She did not make
I did not.
240
Quarter
million,
billion.
guys.
I did not.
So I know a major part of that, as you said, was to provide for your kids and kind of keep up that standard of living that they're accustomed to.
Yes.
How do you plan on doing that going forward?
I'm letting faith lead me.
Yeah,
honestly.
'cause that's a hard question.
It's been really good. Like I'm not even worrying about like where is like my next deal or where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? I'm just gonna put my right foot in front of my left and my left foot in front of my right and keep it
Hallelujah.
pushing.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
I do.
For real.
Yeah.
Man, this is amazing, yeah. I would have never thought, you know what I'm saying? She out here really walking by faith, yeah. That's what it's about. Cause then when you want to taking things into your own hands, start doing all these other stuff, things get a little wicked.
Angela, what happened? What really happened to make you go through such a radical change?
Nothing really happened. I just, like I said, like I just started working out, sobriety, and like my Bible. That's it. Those are the three things that I have been sticking with
Shawty been in the
for the past
word.
7 months. And just over that time, it has shown me like really like, okay, like who are you? Like what is it that you want to do? What's the example that you want to set? Like how are you feeling? Like is this really you? You know, because we put on like hair and makeup, designer clothes to like cover up something, you know, and I want to put like my insecurities aside and really step into like the light, like my own light.
You are you without all of that,
Yeah.
trust me. And there was no one exact moment. There was no one defining moment you can think of that just made you realize I have to do something.
It wasn't.
Really.
Literally, I've been just like walking on water.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, this happened. I didn't get sick. I wasn't ill. Nothing of the sort. I was just like, you know what? But working out is what kind of like maybe kind of
Yeah, she
led
was
to it a
just
little
called
bit.
by God.
Because as I said before, when I started working out, all of the fillers started to become more protruded because I started to slim down. I could really see like my facial structure, but nothing like traumatic that happened.
Nothing dramatic that
No.
changed your heart.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is just God. That's the only thing I could think of.
You know what? That's a good enough answer.
Yeah.
That is always
it's nothing,
a good
it's
enough
nothing
answer.
else.
God.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to your childhood. Can you tell me who was Angela Renee White back then?
Fun, adventurous, loud, squeaky voice. Let me see. What else? Yeah. Just really chill. Like I was a chill child. Like I never really got into like trouble. I always made good grades. Lovable. Athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So were you shy? Were you outgoing?
Outgoing.
Outgoing for sure. Okay. All right. And I want to know, did you feel similar or different from the other girls your age?
I definitely didn't feel the same as them. I always like felt like myself.
Yeah.
I was more like a leader in my crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you attribute that to?
Say it again.
What do you attribute that to? Being a leader, feeling a little different.
It came natural. Like it felt natural. But like looking back, I'm like, okay, yeah, like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like natural, but not like leader, like follow me, like listen to me, but just like, hey, y'all want to see something cool, or like something of the lines of that. Like the same way, I'm the same way now. Like, yo, y'all want to see something cool? Like
You're
I just
one of
did
those.
this. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about your relationship with your mother.
Yes.
How was that growing up? Was she a shoulder to lean
That's a
on?
good question.
Or did you find solace somewhere else?
So, my mom, I love my mom.
Man, sorry about the noise if y'all hear it. I don't know what they doing upstairs right now.
Everybody. Hey mom. So like growing up, I love my mom, everybody. Hey mom. So like growing up, like my mom, she was always like a hustler to this day. So I felt was always like doing her thing sort of. So like for me, I would be with my grandmother and I would be like with my godparents, like different people.
Different.
Yeah.
Did your grandma teach you something?
Yeah, she taught me a lot of stuff.
What did she teach you that sticks with you to this day?
Man, because like growing up, we didn't have money and stuff like that. So we would just do things to improvise and make the best out of everything. So just it helps me now that I'm older. And she taught me how to cook, how to clean, like how to get on your knees and pray, how to be a lady. Just all those things combined.
Those are some very important
It sounds
things.
like you come from a family full of women who are survivors. They did what they had to do to make it to the next day.
Yes.
I want to know, what was your first job?
My very first job was at McDonald's and I was 15 and 9 months. I couldn't wait to get a job.
Fun fact, y'all. I never actually applied for a job. Like, my job has always been YouTube. The year that I was going to become, the summer I was going to become a lifeguard when I was like 15 or 16, 15 years old, I started YouTube. And then ever since then, it's just been up.
In 15, and you chose McDonald's. You didn't care.
Yep, 15, yep. And I was making like $325 every 2 weeks. Like, but that's a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was yours.
It was mine.
And that was what was important.
Yes.
And I know you also worked at Hooters. What's that next after McDonald's?
So after Hooters, I did McDonald's, Taco Bell, Golden Corral, Shoe City, Uno's Pizzeria.
Those are some humbling
And then
beginnings.
my final like job, punching the clock was Hooters. And after this, I was like, you know what? I got to get out of here. I gotta make more money than this.
Yeah.
So then I went to another place.
Well, you also went to college.
Yes.
You went to Johnson and Wales University. What was it? What did you feel like when you got your acceptance letter?
It was a very exciting moment.
This is a good
It was
interviewer.
a very exciting moment because I wasn't sure. It's like always nerve-wracking because you apply, but you're like, man, please, I want to get in. I want to get in. So when I got accepted, I felt really good.
Yeah. And what was your plan at that moment when you got accepted? What did you want to do with your life then?
So I was going to go to school for fashion merchandising, that's what I applied for, and this was in Johnson and Wales in Miami. So they have like different locations. I think they have one in Providence,
The Yamskis?
Florida, but I think they recently closed down the one in Florida. But my plans was to go to Florida with my god sister, do fashion merchandising with her, and just maybe open a business.
Yeah.
Just after that, we don't know. We just wanted to get to Florida and go to school.
But you just wanted to get to Florida.
We had to get to Florida.
Yes.
I had to get away from DC.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the warm weather.
DC.
Yep.
So you get there, you get to school, and you discover dancing in strip clubs.
Oh.
What was that like for you?
The
You were
Yam-
making
the
far more
Yamski
money,
done
I'm
turned
sure,
her
than
up.
most of your friends at school. What was that like?
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna back the story up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So when I got accepted into Johnson Wales University, I didn't have any money. So from the Hooters, that's when I was like, I need to figure out how to make some money. So that's when I started dancing at the strip club in DC. So I did that for 2 years. And one day, by this time, I had my apartment, my 2-bedroom apartment. I had my 2 cars. I had my little dog, Mango.
Oh, she up.
Like I was just doing it,
She
right?
living good.
And one day, something was like this. Something came over me and was like, look inside this box. It was just papers. So I'm like looking through the papers, and I seen Johnson and Wales, and I kind of looked at it, and I was like, dang, that could have been like here. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the piece of paper. So I started to read it, and I noticed that it said that it was valid for 2 years. Immediately, I picked up the phone. I called my grandma. I was like, Grandma, this is the last year for my acceptance. I need to get down there, like now. So I called the school. They're like, listen, if you could make orientation, you could come and start the school year. Told my grandma, I was like, Grandma, listen, I'm going to get you from Virginia, and then I'm going to drive us all the way from Maryland all the way to Florida and then back home so we don't miss this orientation.
Wow.
Like, flights wasn't even, like, in my mind. I'm just like, just get there, like, now. So she was like, yes, of course I'll go, long as we can stop at the south of the border. And I was like, okay. So I drove us all the way down there. We stopped at the south of the border.
She got to it. That's impressive.
Last Supper pictures, some back scratchers, a little sombrero hat. So we did that and drove us back. And then after that, I was like, Grandma, this is it. I'm about to move to Florida. I saved up my money so I could go and like pay them. And I was actually living on campus. So everything that I had in my apartment, I was like, Grandma, you can have everything in here. I'm not taking none of this stuff with me. I packed what I could in my Dodge Charger and drove to Florida and never looked back.
Wow. But
Yep.
was the goal to actually go to the school or just to get to Florida?
To go to the school.
To go to
and
the
finish
school.
what I started. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. But I do want to go back to you making far more money. Clearly, you were already making money, but now I'm sure you're making even more money than that. What was that like, being a student, being so young, juggling, working at one of the biggest strip clubs in the nation, and trying to live an everyday student life by day?
It was a conflict of interest. I feel like that's the best way to explain it. So me trying to like dance at night to pay for school during the day, it's no way possible you could do it.
Yeah.
So I was like kind of like falling asleep in class, things like that. I didn't finish. I only did 2 years, but maybe I'll come back and finish.
So you were in school, you were dancing. How much money were you making at that time?
Honestly, it was coming in so fast and leaving so fast, I couldn't even tell you. But certain nights you could make anywhere from a slow night, you could make $200. And that's like a slow night. A really good night, you can make
$2K.
like 5,000. The most I've ever made in one night was 12,000.
Sheesh.
In one night.
Yes.
I'm in the wrong career. Okay.
No. Let's not go there.
And at what point, was it in school or was it after you decided to leave?
12K
Did
though is
you
pretty thick.
realize I'm starting to blow up?
But it's not
People
really-
are
it's not
starting
really
to
worth it,
know
though.
my name.
It was when I feel like the real breaking point was when 2010 I was Nicki Minaj's stunt double. So being a stunt double is like you know that it's you, but you're a stunt double. So it's kind of like that was in 2010, and then Drake had came out with a song called "Miss Me." That featured like the club and like my name, and then that's when it started to really blow up. So I was still dancing in the club
Oh,
while the
snap.
song Drake that Drake had mentioned me and "Miss
So this
Me."
how she got big.
And it was kind of crazy because people was like, she already got money. She's already famous, so they didn't want to dance with me. And I'm like, if this was true, like I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Like no, like give me some money.
It's my job.
Yeah.
Okay, so Drake is mentioning your name, but did it hit you yet? I'm somebody. I'm famous.
No, I don't think so. It didn't hit me. No,
It,
not famous. I mean, being mentioned in a song, I have it's different levels of famous. I think for me.
Angela, if Drake mentions me in a song,
No, facts.
okay, you see where I'm going with this.
Right. Okay.
But she's also probably thinking about the mindset. Yeah, Drake mentioned me in the song. That didn't make me make more money. That probably she said that actually had her make less because people didn't want to dance with her no more.
All right. Maybe. Yeah.
What were your friends like? Were they jealous? How did they feel? The other
No,
girls at the club.
They thought it was cool.
Your friends.
Yeah.
Those are some real friends.
Yeah, no, they wasn't jealous.
Right.
No, I don't ever really give off that like vibe for you to really be jealous. Like if you're just jealous, you're just a total hater. That's not cool.
That's not cool.
That's not cool.
Okay. So, looking back at who you were in your young 20s, what would you tell yourself now as you're going through this life transformation? What would you tell that girl who basically birthed Blac Chyn'a?
Control your emotions.
Yeah. Why would you say that?
Because I feel like if you can control your emotions, you can control everything about you and control the room. Because like we're humans, like so everything's based off of emotion, like how we feel and this and that. But if you could control like your emotions, like you could control everything that's brought to you, and like you could send off a different type of energy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Look at we're gonna leave that right there. So Blac Chyn'a is going through her nice transformation. We started off by God, ended off with the strip clubs. I don't know how that happened. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's just her story. You know what I'm saying? That literally just shows the transformation. And now she's more grown. And she's having this interview with Forbes, which is also dope. So comment down below what you guys think about this situation. Make sure you do like the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one the same way you're going to catch me in the next one. Peace. Love y'all.